So when you look at these three people, you probably have no idea who they are. But when their names are given, you think of three of the greatest philosophers in Greek history. The word philosophy comes from the Greek words philo and sophilo, which stands for love and wisdom. Philosophy tries to answer the meaning and purpose of life. At first, philosophy answered questions about the physical world, but then in the classical period, they started to focus on human morality. This led to an era where people such as Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and many others answered important questions in the philosophical world and changed the way we think even to this day. Now here is a short video to tell you about one of the philosophers, Socrates.
Who was Socrates? Though known as one of the most influential thinkers of all time, Socrates never wrote down a single word. So in reality, all we know about him is what others tell us. Most famously, Socrates is a figure in Plato's dialogues, where, among other things, he is depicted as short, fat, and ugly. Wears dirty togas, doesn't have a job to support his wife and kids, doesn't participate in Athens' political life, and doesn't care about his social status. But it's also said of him that he could stay up all night without feeling tired the next day, could drink anyone under the table without getting drunk, and is seemingly impervious to heat and cold. A total dreamboat indeed. Yes, according to Plato, Socrates is a seemingly superhuman individual who cares only about asking questions about moral knowledge. It all started when the oracle at Delphi declared that no one was wiser than Socrates. Puzzled by this claim, Socrates set about testing the riddle by seeking out knowledge from people who claimed to have it. But while the people thought they had good answers, Socrates' cross-examination showed them they were wrong. This, of course, made them look like fools, which made a lot of people in Athens hate him. In the end, Socrates decided that he was wise. At least he knew that he didn't know. You would think Socrates might have backed off at this point, but he didn't. Even in the face of a death sentence, he refused to stop philosophizing. For Socrates thought fearing unknown things like death was just another way in which we pretend to know, when in fact we don't. Socrates believed he had a responsibility to his fellow Athenians to root out arrogance and ignorance wherever he found it. After all, false beliefs are bad for your health. Think about it like this. If you have a belief that you can safely cross the street, but don't know that an 18-wheeler is bearing down on you, and if you also happen to suffer from hubris, you're not going to listen to someone who tries to tell you to get out of the street. Instead, you'll just walk right into the path of that massive truck and, well, splat. False beliefs influence our actions and degrade our character. And this is what Socrates wanted to prevent. So the next time you think you know something, consider the wisdom of not thinking you know something you don't. Of course, everything we know about Socrates is based on other people's words. So, dear viewer, should we believe that he actually existed, or are his ideas all that matter?
That was just a small bit about Socrates, as you could probably spend a couple hours talking about him. But like the video said, it was all written from someone else. Greek philosophy started a domino effect of question and answers. They would answer one question and another question would appear. Through this, many ideas and teachings were created. Some of these ideas include skepticism, self-reliance, change and permanence, human senses, and these are just a few to name, as there are a ton more ideas. This time period is important because it shaped how humans thought and even think today. Many of the same ideas can be seen in society and in most humans. Many of the philosophers took a step outside the box and questioned and questioned and questioned until they came up with answers. We should be thanking Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, Pythagoras, Thales of Miletus, Zeno, and many others. And when I say many others, I mean a lot more people who were able to answer these questions about the world and introduce society to new ideas. Here are some of the most prominent accomplishments from each philosopher. Aristotle was the most influential disciple of Plato's. His interpretation of things was more based on experience, whereas Plato was based on perspective in the world. He rewrote already established concepts in all areas of knowledge. And finally, when human knowledge was too generalized, he broke down this knowledge into distinct categories, such as biology, mathematics, physics, and this is a classification system that we still use today. And next we have Plato, who was a student of Socrates. Plato was influenced by Socrates' philosophical approach to things. He then later combined two major approaches of pre-Socratic metaphysics and natural theology with Socratic ethical theology. Probably his most famous work, Plato created a republic, a system of republic. This is where he combined various aspects of ethics, political philosophy, and metaphysics into a systematic and applicable philosophy. For our third philosopher, we have Pythagoras. As many may know, he is better known for his work in mathematics rather than in philosophy. He created a theorem in geometry which is named after him. Finally, and last but not least, because we can go on for days about every philosopher in Greek history, we have Thales of Miletus. Thales is known to be the father of ancient Greek philosophy. It is said that he is one of the first people to investigate basic principles such as the origin of matter. Additionally, Thales is said to be the founder of a school of natural philosophy. Thales also had a theory about why changes occur. Many of his hypotheses added meaning to already existing ideas on nature. And that wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.